When I grew up, the world seemed to be a much smaller place. There were far fewer choices for us to make. My mother was quite a strict person. My father died when I was quite young, when I was 6, and she had to work a lot. So it was very hard for her, and I think that had an effect on her. There was no video games, hardly any electronic equipment in the house at all. Entertainment was pretty much what you made yourself. Television was only on for a few hours a day, and children's television only ran for an hour or so in the afternoon. But a lot of the time I'd be out playing with friends if the weather was good, because there was no way of communicating with us. So if, for example, say a mealtime was set for 5:30, you had to be home for that time. I don't think we are as strict these days as they used to be. I have 2 of my own children, a boy aged 24 and a girl aged 22. When they were growing up, I think life was different for them. We had a firm few rules, certainly that my wife enforced. They weren't allowed out as much as we were. I used to be out a lot during the day, but my children had to be home a lot more. Expectations with, say, homework. Certainly my wife was far stricter than my mother ever was in making sure homework was done. But they have so much homework now when they're young. My children weren't allowed televisions in their rooms until they were old enough to buy their own. We had one television downstairs, and for a while my wife made us all, including me, write out lists of what we wanted to watch during the week. So you wrote down your list, and that's what you watched. If it wasn't on the list, you didn't have it on. I don't think children have it easy these days. I think the pressures on them are different to my generation and my mother's generation. I think this generation have a lot more choice than our generation did when I was growing up. Children are faced with many choices and many pressures that I didn't face when I was growing up. I think there is a problem that comes with choices because it's easy to make the wrong choices. When you only have one choice to make, it's very hard to get it wrong.
When I was growing up at school, I think the biggest thing I noticed was that I didn't know anyone else who was half mixed race. I'm half Thai and my dad's from Thailand. There wasn't a Thai community in Cheltenham. And so I quite liked being a bit different. It helped me sort of find my way, become an individual. My mum's very strong and independent, and she came from a very busy city, and my dad is he's very zen, he's very calm, and he has some traditional ideas about bringing up girls and things, and he grew up in a rural area of Thailand. Well, when I was growing up, I wasn't allowed to go to the cinema if any boys were going. I wanted to get a part-time job, like a paper round or something, but I wasn't allowed. I think that the way my brothers were brought up was different, and I don't know if it was because they're boys or whether because I'm the eldest, so they let them go out a bit more sooner, and